Right now, the IRS is holding more than $1 billion that belongs to ordinary Americans, and a lot of it belongs to people just like you. Over 1.3 million people have refunds waiting that they never claimed. And here's the part that should make you sit up. There is a deadline. Miss it, and the law lets the government keep your money permanently. No second chances, no notice. It just becomes property of the U.S. Treasury and it's gone forever. Let me say that again, because it matters. This is not a scam. This is the IRS's own number. Over $1 billion unclaimed and a clock ticking down on every penny of it. I'm June. I've spent more than 20 years helping American retirees protect their benefits and hold on to every dollar they've earned. And in the next half hour, I'm going to show you exactly what this rule is, who's most at risk of losing money, and the 3 simple steps you need to take to check if the IRS owes you, and claim it before that deadline slams shut. Here's my promise to you. By the end of this video, you'll know how to find out for free whether there's money with your name on it sitting at the IRS right now. And stay with me all the way to step 3 in the action plan, because that's the step most people skip. And skipping it can mean your refund gets held up or swallowed by an old debt you forgot about. Don't miss it. Now, I want to be straight with you, the way I always am. Not everyone is owed thousands of dollars. The typical unclaimed refund is a few $100s. But for some people, especially folks who qualified for certain credits, it climbs into the thousands. Either way, it's your money, and I don't want you leaving a single dollar of it on the table. So pour yourself a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's go through this together. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert is 68 years old. He lives in Ohio, in the same town where he raised his kids. Robert worked hard his whole life, drove a delivery truck for almost 30 years, paid his taxes every spring like clockwork, never missed a deadline. The kind of man who files his return in February because he doesn't like things hanging over his head. A few years back, Robert retired, and like a lot of folks, once the steady paycheck stopped, he figured his tax filing days were behind him. He thought to himself, I'm just on Social Security and a small pension now. My income's low. I'm not required to file anymore. So why bother? And here's the thing, Robert was partly right. His income was low enough that he wasn't legally required to file a return. So he stopped. No more forms. No more April 15th. But Robert missed one small thing. He had a little part-time job for a while. Helped out at the hardware store a couple days a week, and his pension had a bit of tax withheld from it every month. That withheld money, some of it was his, he'd overpaid, the IRS owed him a refund. But because Robert never filed, the IRS never sent it. They don't chase you down to hand you your own money. You have to ask for it. And Robert didn't ask because he didn't know he had anything to ask for. By the time a neighbor mentioned unclaimed refunds, Robert went and checked, and discovered he'd had a refund waiting for one of those years. But that year was now more than 3 years past the deadline. And under the law, once that 3-year window closes, the money becomes the property of the U.S. Treasury. Gone. Robert couldn't appeal it, couldn't file late for it. It simply wasn't his anymore. The most painful part? It was completely avoidable. One simple form, filed in time, and that money would have landed in his bank account. And Robert is not alone. According to the IRS itself, more than 1.3 million people are sitting on unclaimed refunds right now, over $1 billion in total. Much of it from people who, just like Robert, assumed that because they didn't have to file, there was nothing to claim. I don't want you to be Robert, so let's make sure you're not. All right, let's go through exactly how this works. And I'm going to translate every piece of IRS language into plain English, so there's no confusion left when we're done. Here's what the IRS actually says. To claim a tax refund, you generally have to file your return within 3 years from the date the original return was due. The IRS has a fancy name for this. They call it the refund statute expiration date. In plain English, that means this. If the government owes you a refund for a year, you've got roughly 3 years to go get it. After that, the door closes. The clock starts from when that year's return was due, so right now the live deadline is for the 2022 tax year, and that money has to be claimed by April 15th, 2026. So what should you do because of this? If you skipped filing for 2022, 2023, or 2024, mark that April 15th date down right now. That's your window. Here's what the IRS reports about the scale of this. For tax year 2022 alone, More than 1.3 million people have unclaimed refunds, adding up to about $1.2 billion. In plain English, that's over 1 million Americans who are owed money and haven't collected it. And the typical refund, the IRS calls it the median, is around $686. Now, $686 is the middle number, which means half of those refunds are even bigger than that. So what should you do? Don't assume your refund would be too small to matter. $600 buys a lot of groceries, and yours could be larger. Now here's where it gets bigger, and this is the honest, important part. That $600 figure does not include tax credits, and credits are where the real money can be. There's one called the Earned Income Tax Credit for lower and moderate income workers, and for tax year 2022, that credit was worth up to $6,935 for someone with qualifying children. In plain English, that means for some people, walking away from an unfiled return isn't leaving $600 behind. It could be thousands. Real life-changing money. Gone, just because nobody filed the paperwork. So what should you do? If you worked at all during those years and your income was modest, you especially need to check. The credit could be the biggest part of your refund. Now here's the part that most people, including some financial advisors, get completely wrong. We spend our whole lives afraid of owing the IRS. We picture them coming after us, but flip that around. When the IRS owes you, the rules are completely different. If you owe them, they will pursue that debt for years. But if they owe you, you get 3 years, and then the law lets them keep your money. No penalty on them, no requirement to remind you, no way to get it back. Over $1 billion is about to quietly become government property, simply because people never filled out one form. In plain English, this is one of the only situations in the entire tax world where your own money has an expiration date. And once it expires, it's truly final. And here's the second thing almost nobody understands. You can be completely exempt from having to file a tax return and still be owed a refund. The two things have nothing to do with each other. I don't have to file never means I have nothing to claim. That's the exact trap that caught Robert. So, what should you do? Stop assuming. The only way to know is to check. And I'll show you how. Free, in just a minute. One more thing the IRS warns about, because I never want you blindsided. If you're owed a 2022 refund, but you also skipped 2023 or 2024, the IRS can hold your refund until those are filed too. And before they send you any cash, they'll first apply it to certain debts you might owe. Back taxes, past due child support, or a defaulted federal student loan. So if any of that applies to you, just know it going in. So what should you do? If you're behind on more than 1 year, plan to file all of them. We'll cover that in the steps. Now here's your action plan. Just 3 steps. Not 7, 3. Because 3 is what you'll actually remember. Everyone is free. Everyone uses official IRS sources only. And none of them require paying a tax preparer a dime. Step 1. Check whether the IRS owes you. Pull out your records for 2022, 2023, and 2024 and ask yourself one question. Did you have any income with tax withheld or any year you didn't file? If yes, you may be owed money. To get your records for free, go to irs.gov and use the Get Transcript Online tool. It shows you the W-2s and 1099s the IRS already has on file for you. This takes about 10 minutes, and it's completely free. Step 2, file the right return for the year you missed. There's no secret form here, despite what some videos online will tell you. You simply file the regular Form 1040, or even better for folks 65 and up, Form 1040-SR, which is the large print version made for seniors. You can order prior year forms free by calling 1-800-08-293-676. And if you'd rather not do it alone, get free help. The IRS runs a program called Tax Counseling for the Elderly, and AARP runs AARP Foundation Tax Aid. Both are free, both are staffed by trained volunteers, and neither will charge you a penny. Step 3, and this is the one most people skip. File before the deadline, and file every year you owe, not just one. Remember, the 2022 deadline is April 15th, 2026. And if you skipped more than 1 year, file all of them, because the IRS can hold your refund until the others are done. If you skip this step and let that 3-year window close, here's what happens. Your refund becomes the permanent property of the U.S. Treasury. You cannot appeal it. You cannot get it back. it's gone for good. So don't wait until the last week. Give yourself time to gather your documents and file properly. Before you go, I want to ask you something, and I really do read these. Drop a comment below and tell me, did you know the IRS could keep your refund if you don't claim it in time? Just type yes or no. I read every single comment, and I'll reply to as many as I possibly can. Your answer also helps me understand how many of you are hearing this for the very first time. And here's something I'm going to ask you to do, because it genuinely matters. If you have a parent, a brother or sister, a neighbor, or an old friend who stopped filing taxes after they retired, please share this video with them right now. Think about Robert. One conversation could have saved him. You could be that person for someone you love. A single share could put hundreds, even thousands of dollars back in their pocket before that deadline hits. That share button is right below this video. If you're not subscribed to Retirement Tax and Law Pro yet, now's the time. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. I post new videos every Tuesday and Friday covering exactly these kinds of rules. The deadlines, the benefits, the money traps that nobody explains in plain English. These rules change all the time, and you deserve to know about them before it's too late, not after. And in my next video, I'm covering the brand new $6,000 tax deduction for seniors, money the IRS will not remind you to claim, and that millions of older Americans are about to miss. It affects nearly every senior who files, and most people have never heard of it. Click right here to watch it next. I'll see you there. This is June from Retirement Tax and Law Pro. Take care of yourself, take care of your money, and I'll talk to you soon.